Active retention holsters. So you guys, these are videos I do every once in a while that aren't like really review, but it's to answer bulk questions for you guys at home. So imagine we're having beers, hanging out, just bullshitting, and we're gonna talk about active retention duty holsters and what you might wanna get for your first holster. There are two holsters that are very similar and two that are very kind of hot topics right now in the market. Then I'm gonna show you a third one that I still feel is the gold standard of duty holsters. So we have two of the newest full injection molded style holsters, the Alien Gear, the Rapid Force from Alien Gear and the Safariland Vault. One looks very cool and one looks like a beach paddle. Unless you've been living under a rock, you guys know the Alien Gear Rapid Force holster. And last year, you kind of saw at the end of SHOT Show, you saw some of the Safari Vault coming that was delayed, and then they've relaunched them now, and they're now offering this in, I hope, all the light lengths, and we'll discuss that here shortly. So duty holster, for you guys, if you're running something like one of our enhanced instructor belts, you might run this as a cop, you might run this as a civilian. This is one of the belts I run for class, but this is a 1 3/4 inch belt that allows you to use MOLLE pouches, Tech-Lock pouches, or whatever, but it is a modern day version of a duty belt for law enforcement or otherwise. These all fit on that. There are guys out there who are gonna say a third option is your Kydex duty holster. I don't believe that because the simple taco fold over with the roll top hood, there's a reason we don't make those, right? Because there are way better options out there in the world than a taco folded over with a spring-loaded hood. Those are options for you guys out there who have the very unique guns. One that comes to mind is CZ, for example. It's got a weird ejection port shape. So the ALS mechanisms that hold guns in place with the mechanical device stuff doesn't work for those kind of holsters. So let's talk about Rapid Force first. Clear these guns, make sure you guys are all good. We already did that pre-video. So when Rapid Force came on board, I'm trying to do this in the video here, they addressed a lot of the things that Safariland just didn't for decades. They made a very robust, advanced holster. And I probably would be remiss if I didn't kind of put right here in the middle, the Blackhawk T-Series. So when Rapid Force came to the market, they did something that Safariland had neglected for years. They added a lot of the features that people wanted and really did it well. There are some really good things about this holster, and then there are some things that I think could be done better. So let's talk about the Rapid Force holster. One of the things I like in a level 3 holster is that when they made this thing, when you look at how the gun activates in the hand, right? This is a actual shield to help you not protect the release. And if you notice that when you activate the release, the hood goes forward as well, all right? And when you re-engage the holster, the hood comes with you. Very well thought out. And again, all it is the push down, gun comes out. The cool thing about this pistol is that if you were, say, a new guy and you didn't have, or you're a civilian or whatever case may be, you don't have your red dot yet, no problem. Maybe you have your red dot, but you don't have your light yet, no problem. The holster will work vice versa. The 6000 series holsters from Safariland would not. You had to have the light to retain the pistol. It would still work if you had a level 3, but it would be all over the place. This design works very well. In the front of the holster here, you have a tension screw that allows you to adjust that wobble and rattle in the gun. On the back side of the holster, they did a very good job about making their attachment system so you guys can see how intricate this holster is. In my opinion, one of the downsides from this will be these things are so well built and so robust with all their pieces, there may be a delay in getting selection holster models to market. Right now, I know they have Glock, SIG, M&P. I don't know what's next on the horizon. I'm sure they're working on new products. When I was at SHOT Show, I didn't see anything new in regards to holsters. These on the 320s, it doesn't fit the X5, but we have options for that in Safariland. But if you're looking for the basic run-of-the-mill duty holster style pistols, the Rapid Force is one to look at. So now let's talk about some of the things that might be considered, in my opinion, might be cons. When you look at how the holster goes together, there's it's almost even with the top of the gun, the belt mount hanger, and the pistol itself. One of the things that Safariland does is a bit of an offset drop. One, this is on the belt. If you put it on the belt the very first time, it's a little wonky in its position. Like if it was just slightly lower, it would fit better. But since it's square and even, it feels like you're just got a block on the side of the hip. There are some options of these things you can adjust and change, but the benefit to this mounting system they have is a lot of different, the paddles, the drop leg, the swivel drop leg, there's a ton of different platform attachments, but the base one that comes with, I feel like it should have kind of ran like a Safariland like so as an actual duty holster. This portion of the hanger I feel is a bit too big, and there's some issue with this as well, but if you looked at it this way in regards to a position on the belt and kind of a fitment, this is a little bit more comfortable than this even girth going left to right here. This belt hanger is pretty good. I like the adjustments that you can do. What I don't like is how narrow the belt slot is right here. This here, you have to, if you have a thicker belt like a Bianchi or one of our enhanced duty instructor duty belts, you have to unscrew these, feed the belt, then pinch this thing shut to get the screws back down. It could be wider through here if that was an option. But again, it's not a huge deal, but it's not like a UBL hanger where you just weave one through and out the other, especially when you have the MOLLE sections that we have on our belts and others like it. So this here could have been slightly wider. I don't know what the particular MOLLE is built off of, or was it designed simply to unscrew, lift the forks up, slide the belt through, screw it back down, which very well could be, because that's how you're going to get your ride height and cantability in this thing here. There is a Safariland hanger mod for this. I have not tried it yet. I have not seen one, but I've heard there are options out there. But I do like Rapid Force's release on the holster, but it's very easy to get on and very easy to get off. QLS forks are kind of a pain in the ass at times, but it's very easy to swap these things out and put them back on. So the only con that I feel on the holster itself for Rapid Force, I feel that the trigger coverage could have been better designed. If you look at it in this angle here, you'll notice how it slams over. I feel that if it would have came over and then down slightly higher here, you wouldn't be able to do this, right? Unlikely that someone's gonna get a finger in the holster, but if you try to get in there, and Murphy's Law is always a thing, and my reviews for you guys on this kind of stuff is 100% honest. I'm not gonna pull punches or hide something simply because I don't care about this. I want this to be an educational point for you guys at home when you're looking at this, if you're a guard, a new cop, whatever. But if you were here and you had small hands like Christian's hands or a female's hands, if you get in here, you can engage that gun, right? That's not unlikely. I don't have big hands, little hands, whatever, but there is something that Rapid Force, I feel, could have done better by reshaping this portion of the holster to kind of fill in about here to here. So if they just had about an extra ½ inch of material, because if you get in here, you can get in here and engage that trigger. So again, unlikely, but possible. So it's something to be aware of. Is it a deal breaker? Absolutely not. I think that's all gonna be dependent upon you, because there are plenty of agencies out there who are using this holster, plenty of consumers have used this holster. That's just a talking point to show that this area on the trigger guard could be revised and could be a little bit done a little better. Maybe that's something they can change in the future, I don't know. But again, it's something, and it could be, honestly, I haven't tried every single model of holster, but I do know it is an issue on the 320 model. Other than that, you guys, tourniquet mounts, from us, we are working on a rapid force model right now as we speak. So that's something we're going to be bringing very shortly. Wrapping these holsters is pretty difficult. Not difficult in the skill to do it, in time. To take one of these apart, wrap it, and put it back together and ensure it functions, I just don't, me and my team don't have the time frame to do that, considering we have all the other Safariland products that we wrap already. I know there are some guys out there who wrap these. Injection molded plastic, the texture on these always doesn't take the glue as well as a textured holster like the 6000 series do. But at the end of the day, Alien Gear is making these. I think I saw a green one at SHOT Show and a tan one at SHOT Show. The plain black is what it is, but we'd rather have you guys options for tourniquet mounts than trying to wrap these and ensure that we put them back together properly. Because if I lost something inside one of the springs, I don't know how to get a replacement or how I would explain to someone at Rapid Force what part I actually lost. So that's what we have, you guys, for the Rapid Force from Alien Gear. This is a very, very innovative holster, very well built, very technically sound. Price-wise, very similar to a Vault. And we're gonna now talk to you guys about the competitor to this. And I'll explain why it's the competitor here in a minute. The Safariland Vault. Let me just be clear. This is a unique holster. You can see, let me give you a comparison here. So this is a 320 holster, and this is a Glock 19 holster. People have told me, oh, it's not that much bigger. It really is not. No, it is much bigger. So, but there's some history, in my opinion, behind this one here. This came about, in my opinion, due to sales lost to this guy. Because what this holster does now, this one from Safariland does as well. You can run this gun without a red dot, without a light, you can do all those things. It is injection molded. It's using the same UBL. It's all the things that the Rapid Force is doing, because when you, I can't do that. And that's why I did that. So this was a strange move for Safariland. I don't understand why. When the Vault was released, it was released with the full-size 320 pistols with the TR7A lights. I don't even know why that happened, because these were working with X300s and TR1s, right? So I do not understand why they dropped these out the gate for these little lights. It was very strange, but this is the Vault. It does fit a full-size 320. It is a full pass-through design, similar to the Rapid Force. This has a fully redesigned AOS module, and the guys over at OT Defense already have a variant for this new version, if that's what you guys want. We are working on a TQ plate for the Vault. The Vault is a two-piece system that comes together like so. You'll see the screws here and the backside here, and then the two big ones up front. The Vault does now come, I believe it's all out in 320, Glock, I think M&P, and it does now offer in a full-size weapon light. And something unique about the Vault is, because it's that push to the LE space, is they did build in an Axum mounting system in the back of the holster here. So if you guys don't know what the Axum is a device that sticky backs to the back of a holster. When the gun is in there, there's a magnet built into it, and when the gun releases from the holster, it triggers the magnet. The magnet then sends a signal Bluetooth to your body camera. Your body camera comes on and begins recording. The Axum camera mount is tough because it does back the other holsters. That's one of the reasons I think why they pushed it back, because there's a few things I'm sure they're bringing to market. But for us on like the smaller holsters, it's a little bit tough to put the Axum on here because they're rounded space. You'll notice how flat this section is over here to sticky. So normally what happens on RDS holsters, you've got to put it over here on this side, so that interferes with TQ mounting plates. So again, on the 6000 series holsters, that does become an issue with that. This is the new red dot hood. If you guys are getting holsters from us or from Safariland, you'll notice that you'll see some of the 6000 series holsters coming with, oh, this is a different one, I'm sorry. You'll see some of the 6000 series holsters coming with this new hood design. And this new hood design is made to fit the acro. So you'll see a lot of the Glock 17 models, we have some here, that have this hood on the for the 17 for the acro, and this one has been replaced. You'll see the differences between the two, right? And what reason that is that you'll look on the inside here, and you'll see how they are square inside this side here. And that's to fit the acro red dot. So the Vault really didn't do a ton different in design-wise other than simply fit the gun without a light and add a dot. It didn't go into anything in the hanger system, which actually is kind of a good thing, because with the UBL hanger, you simply just pass your belt through and you're good to go. You can still use all the QLS components to detach and attach the holster. Biggest thing is you got the extra width for them to support the Axum camera use here, or the widget for the camera. I don't know why this was a choice as a standard, considering not every agency is using it, but I'm sure there's some kind of a, you know, contract or corporate thing that drives behind that. I feel it is smart because now it's out of the way, it's got a clean surface to mount to, it is forward thinking. I just don't know if everyone's going to use them, because on a Rapid Force, for example, there is no place to put that camera box activation unless you put it right here on front of the holster, which they will sit out front here on a holster. That I've seen them on the outside. It's just more likely to lose that, have it broken off, ripped off in a fight. So there are some issues with that there. So again, you guys, when you look at these two pistols, the other thing I don't like, I have chose to put a Romeo X on this pistol here. This is one of the new red dots from SIG. You'll notice it's a very low profile red dot, unlike other larger red dots. It does not always want to clear and push the hood out the way. You see how it kind of bounced one time, so when I go to reholster, the hood is in the way now, right? So, right, as you see that there, you've got to really get this gun out for that thing to flip forward and stay, but you can see how it needs quite a bit of push to get to lock in place. There, it kind of didn't go out the way, but it barely moves, and you just have to kind of push it forward. This, I feel, could have maybe had a little better design execution, but again, it worked pretty well. It just depends on how fast you get the gun out the holster. This is going to be an option for agencies who just are looking for new holsters. There was a conversation, as we mentioned earlier in the Rapid Force, with the finger and the trigger. This Safariland Vault fixed that. This is how it should have been. You'll notice how Safariland follows that trigger line, then has that indentation right next to it to get the hand on the pistol, and it has a little bit of clearance for glove spacing. Safariland still is the gold standard in their product line. This one here may not be everybody's cup of tea. It's not mine. But when you look at the execution in regards to positive grip on the pistol, activation, ALS, all those things, when you combine those and you look at those things, it is a very well done holster directly for the law enforcement space. I don't know if this would ever venture into the military side of the house, considering they have the 7TS series holster. I still feel that for the majority of the law enforcement world that still is not forced to wear something or given their equipment, the 6000 series is still the gold standard. This holster is the Glock 19 6390 RDS holster. This is the one that we sell the most of. This is still a Kydex holster, still touched by a human at Safariland. And this here, the benefit of the 6000 series is that you can actually tune it, shape it, bend it, flare it, wrap it, paint it, whatever. You can tune these to fit a various different pistols. As you guys know, we specialize, or have been specializing for the last 9 years now, making holsters for pistols that Safariland does not currently support. Sig Sauer X5 Legion, X5 226, the Spectracom, 5-inch 2011s until recently with their guns, all kinds of different pistols, VP9s, VP9Ls. We mod existing holsters, tune them, tweak them to fit other guns that are not currently supported. We wrap these in 16 different patterns. There's a lot of things we offer. We offer our new UBL MH2 holster hanger. We have our TQ mounts for all various red dots, non-red dot holsters. All that stuff you can find on our website at rdrgear.com. But this holster here is still today the one everybody wants and everybody uses, whether you're military, civilian, law enforcement, foreign military, whatever. This right here is still the holster of choice for anybody who carries a gun with or without a red dot. You guys, that's kind of a long video, and it's kind of just a conversation of us as bullshit and talking, whatever. If we were all sitting around here, you'd throw questions out, I'd answer them. But at the end of the day, this is something you guys can watch, you guys can listen to, gives you some options and holsters. If you do not have a active retention holster in your kit bag, I highly recommend you get one. It doesn't matter what brand you get, it doesn't matter if you buy them from me, but as you progress in your training skills, going from rifle to pistol transitions, being able to take this pistol, put it into a holster and know that it's locked in there is a good peace of mind, especially if you start moving and shooting. The faster you make these Kydex holsters work to get them out fast, as soon as you start moving, you're very highly likely to lose that pistol in your movement. Having a retention holster is going to benefit you tremendously. I make Kydex here as part of my living. If you see me, on the range, at a class, I'm running a Safariland holster simply for the retention access of it all. So you guys, that's what I got for you. The alien gear, the Rapid Force alien gear, great option, very good holster. Glock, SIG, MMP, the Vault, Glock, SIG, MMP. The Vault is basically Safariland's variant of what is happening here in the Rapid Force. With the 6000 series, you are going to have a ton of different options. Red dot, non-red dot. We can wrap them. Safariland wraps them. We have holster mods, holster wraps, holster accessories. This is going to be your do-all, DIY, you name it, make it happen. So if you like this content, turn on your notifications, subscribe to the channel. It'll let you know the next time we post a video. Until next time, be well, take care.